This is Matador News, and these are today's headlines. Brazil mourns over a deadly Colombian plane crash carrying a top division soccer team. Tens of thousands flee from wildfires in Tennessee. Dozens of arrests are made in minimum wage protests throughout the U.S.
Hello, and welcome to Matador News. I'm Amber Partida.
And I'm Yesenia Burgara.
What was supposed to be a happy ending has turned into a tragedy. An up-and-coming Brazil soccer team from Chapecoense has lost the majority of its members due to a plane crash. The plane was carrying 81 people before it went down in the mountains of Colombia. Based on the most recent report, only 6 people survived the crash. Players, coaches, journalists, and 9 crew members were on board. The team was supposed to play against the Colombian club team in the first leg of the South American Cup finals. The team was moving up in the ranks and was starting to draw national attention after making it to the championship game in Colombia. Fans have already reached out by using social media to mourn those who died. Authorities are investigating what caused the crash.
A fire in Gatlinburg, Tennessee has forced 14,000 people out of their homes and damaged 250 structures. A wildfire in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park has died down after spreading to nearby communities on Monday. Gatlinburg Mayor Mike Warner said that his home was one of the structures destroyed from the fire. 12 people have been hospitalized and 4 were left with burns. Gatlinburg Fire Chief Greg Miller said the worst is definitely over because winds have died down. Miller said firefighters will focus to extinguish 14 active structure fires.
President-elect Donald Trump is making his choices for cabinet members. Former Labor Secretary Elaine Chao was the first Asian American woman to serve in a cabinet position. Chao served as Secretary of Labor under George W. Bush from 2001 to 2009. Chao is also the wife of Senate Majority Mitch McConnell, which could create conflict of interest in infrastructure bill negotiations. Trump selected Tom Price as the head of the Department of Health and Human Services. Price has been a critic of President Obama's health care reforms. The president-elect met with former CIA Director David Petraeus on Monday and tweeted that he was very impressed. Petraeus said he is interested in serving as defense secretary. Trump will meet with former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney for the second time over Secretary of State position. The Senate still has to approve the nominations in January.
About 40 protesters have been arrested in Los Angeles this morning. They are calling for higher minimum wages nationwide and union representation for low-wage workers. Those arrested refused to move from an intersection on East 7th Street and Alameda. The peaceful demonstration of more than 200 people was outside a McDonald's. The nationwide protest is fighting for a $15 minimum wage, backed by the Service Employee International Union. More protests are expected today at the Los Angeles International Airport. Protesters arrested will be cited and released if they have no outstanding warrants. The law to raise minimum wage to $15 was approved by Los Angeles City Council and the LA Board of Supervisors. It will gradually go up until 2020.
Let's go to Matador News reporter Paulina Negrete for reactions to Donald Trump's social media remarks about flag burning.
President-elect Trump has made it clear that he is against flag burning. In the tweet sent out early this morning, Trump said that there will be serious consequences to whoever burns the American flag, but the Supreme Court thinks otherwise. Flag burning is categorized as freedom of speech. Anti-Trump protests, a few in which included flag burning, started in early November after the election. CSUN Journalism Law Professor Elizabeth Blakey says she wouldn't personally burn the flag, but would protect someone's right to.
It was a crime under Texas law, and it's not a crime because it's considered expressive. Even though there's no words, it's still freedom of speech. It's considered symbolic speech, it's sending a message, and it's also nonviolent.
CSUN students also had their own opinions regarding Donald Trump's tweet. Many said that they don't agree with flag burning, and Trump's ideas are severe.
It's not cool to burn a flag, but if you want to do it, that's on you, and I don't think that there should be such severe consequences for that.
You know, I think that it is a major disrespect. The American flag stands for a symbol of freedom and hope. So regardless of what your stance are politically at the moment, I think that we still have to remain united, and the symbol that keeps us united is that flag. So I do, in a sense, agree with him. I don't know about the severity of losing citizenship and going to jail, but I do think that we have to show our respect for the flag.
This week, I don't think it was right. I don't believe anybody should be punished for burning the flag. But burning the flag, I don't think anybody should have done that because I don't think there's no point to it.
The Flag Protection Act of 1989 is still in effect and supported by many. Trump will enter office on January 20th. Now back to the studio with Yesenia.
Over 16,000 eastern Aleppo residents are fleeing the Syrian war on foot. They're carrying only what they can and their children. Food stock is very low and all hospitals have been bombed, leaving thousands more with no choice but to flee. Almost 200,000 people still remain as Syrian government forces continue to use airstrikes to retake the rebel-controlled territory. 40% of eastern Aleppo is now in regime's hands, according to the media in Russia, who supports the Syrian government. But CNN reports only 20% is now in Syrian government's hands. Over 500 people have been killed since Saturday. Russian President Vladimir Putin has ordered mobile hospitals to assist civilians with medical assistance. Syrian President Bashar al-Assad has vowed to take back Aleppo, and rebel forces have held it for 4 years.
Protesters fighting the North Dakota Access Pipeline say they will stay despite the evacuation order. Local law enforcement officials say they will begin blocking all people and supplies coming to the site starting tomorrow. The campsite has been ordered to close next Monday. U.S. Army Corps of Engineers say they will not forcibly remove the protesters from the campsite, but those who continue to stay after the assigned date could be arrested for trespassing. North Dakota Governor Jack Dalrymple says protesters should clear out due to harsh winter conditions. He says that first aid responders will not be responsible in providing emergency services to those who remain. Standing Rock Sioux Tribal Chairman Dave Archambault says they will continue to protest even after the campsite is set to close.
Officials say the Ohio State University attack may have been a terrorist attack. The attacker, Abdul Razak Ali Artin, who left 11 injured on Monday, had posted on Facebook he was sick and tired of seeing Muslims killed and tortured. The Somali immigrant also posted asking Americans to stop interfering with other countries, especially Muslims. He said there would be no sleep unless there was peace to Muslims and no holiday would be enjoyed. Shortly after the post, Artin crashed his car into a group of people at OSU and then rushed out of his car, attacking others with a knife. The 2-minute rampage ended after Artin was shot and killed by a campus police officer. The attacker was alone in the car before the incident, but investigators are looking to find if anyone else was involved. All victims are expected to survive, and Columbus students say they are nervous about their return to campus.
American Muslims are responding to hate letters sent to 6 mosques. 5 hate letters were sent to California, and 1 was sent to Georgia. The letters are addressed to the children of Satan and say Trump is going to do to Muslims what Hitler did to the Jews. The mosque in San Jose said it received the letter on Thursday and notified police. The San Jose Police Department said the letter is hate-motivated and they will conduct a follow-up investigation. Chair of Islamic Center of Southern California, Hidab Tarifi, says the letters are not going to scare them. Gates of the Savannah Islamic Center were covered in flowers and notes from community members expressing solidarity. The mosque responded by posting a photo on Facebook and saying thank you.
Now let's go to Lexie Smith with the latest in business.
Thank you, Yesenia. Instead of standing in long lines this weekend, consumers preferred shopping online. Internet sales on Black Friday nearly matched the preliminary figures for Cyber Monday. Online sales on Black Friday grew 21.6% from last year to a record $3.34 billion, according to Adobe. Roughly 75% of the money spent on Cyber Monday goes toward buying toys, computers, televisions, phones, video games, and other electronics. More than 154 million consumers shopped in stores and online, about 3 million more than last year, according to the National Retail Federation survey. Consumers spent about $10 less on average this year compared to in 2015. And today is the Giving Tuesday. Last year, nonprofits raised over $117 million online, and much more was generated offline through donations of time, clothes, food, and other resources. Now let's go to Justin Stiles with the latest in health.
A freak illness known as thunderstorm asthma has now killed 8 people in Australia. A rare combination of weather and pollen sent thousands to hospitals with breathing problems in Melbourne and other parts of Victoria. Victorian Branch Premier Daniel Andrews says local health services are committed to providing better treatment.
This really does serve as a very timely reminder that we need to keep investing in our health system, and we will do that. And we need to keep investing in our ambulance system so as to grow and improve that system also. It's what we've been doing, and it's what we'll continue to do.
Thunderstorm asthma occurs when a storm hits in a period of time of unusually high pollen and high humidity, causing grains to break up and disperse, entering people's lungs and making it hard to breathe. An Orlando-based doctor suggested Charlotte's Web to cure a 5-year-old's seizures. Abby Muzinski has been suffering 2 to 4 seizures a week, lasting about 8 to 12 minutes. Charlotte's Web is a non-euphoric, low-level THC marijuana that is available in Florida. But the doctor suggested the family relocate to Colorado, where higher levels of THC marijuana is available. After a year-long battle with Florida Medicaid on covering the costs, the family made a deal with Colorado Medicaid to pay for her prescription and doctor visits. With just a drop of high THC marijuana oil under her tongue, Abby's seizures have nearly stopped. Florida ranks the 5th lowest in the country in Medicaid payment, and nearly 4 out of 10 children are on Medicaid. Now let's go back to Lexie with the latest in entertainment.
Thank you, Justin. The musical Hamilton has set the record for the most money ever made in a single week by a Broadway show. Despite Trump's criticism of its quality and the manner of its cast, Hamilton grossed $3.3 million last week. Hamilton won a Tony Award this year for the Best New Musical. The show uses hip-hop music and a diverse cast to explore the life and death of Alexander Hamilton. Vice President-elect Mike Pence attended a show. The cast reached out to him afterward from the stage, asking him to work on the behalf of all Americans. Trump reacted unhappily on Twitter. Regardless of the positive or negative public reactions, the show is unaffected financially because it is sold out for months in the future. King of Queens actress Leah Remini explores her Scientology past and interviews other former cult members in her ADE docuseries premiering tonight. The 8-part series follows the actress as she meets with other defectors as they allege abusive, cult-like behavior and bizarre beliefs. The series follows her memoir released last year, Troublemaker, Surviving Hollywood and Scientology. Remini also discusses incidents related to famed Scientologist Tom Cruise. The Church of Scientology has reportedly been trying to get Remini's series pulled from the air since August. Remini's lawyers sued for $1.5 million, claiming the organization damaged Remini's reputation and her contract with A&E. The Gotham Awards signaled the beginning of the awards season last night. The star-studded event was held at a Cipriani Wall Street in Lower Manhattan. Among the attendees, Amy Adams, Cate Blanchett, Natalie Portman, Janelle Monáe, and the always entertaining Danny DeVito. The drama Moonlight stole the show, winning 4 awards, including Best Screenplay, Best Feature, Best Ensemble, and Best Audience Award. Critics were surprised considering the director and screenwriter Barry Jenkins, as well as the cast, are not especially famous. Yet. In the previous 2 years, Gotham's award winners for the Best Feature went on to win the Academy Award for Best Picture. This would support early forecasts that Moonlight will be a strong player in the award race this year. After being hospitalized for a week, Kanye West reportedly is not ready to go home anytime soon. West was admitted to Cedars-Sinai 8 days ago after a reported meltdown at the personal trainer's home in West Hollywood. The hospitalization came after he canceled the remainder of the St. Pablo tour. Sources tell TMZ he's been dealing with depression and paranoia. His wife, Kim, has not left his bedside since she rushed home from New York City, where she skipped her first public appearance since the robbery. West's physical and mental state and Kim's robbery have led to a temporary stop in production of the family's reality TV show. Let's go back to Justin with the latest in sports.
49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick is taking another stand, but this one may need further clarification. Miami Herald reporter Armando Salguero called Kaepernick a hypocrite after the quarterback wore a Fidel Castro shirt back in August. Kaepernick felt it was necessary to clarify his position on Fidel's accomplishments in Cuba.
What I said was I agree with the investment in education. I also agree with the investment in free universal health care, as well as the involvement in helping end apartheid in South Africa. You know, I would hope that everybody agrees those things are good things.
Kaepernick wore a Malcolm X shirt at the press conference to show his active support for African American rights. Rams legend Eric Dickerson will not be attending any further Rams games. The Hall of Fame running back says he will never go to a Rams game as long as Jeff Fisher is still the head coach. Dickerson says Fisher told him the Rams are uncomfortable with his public comments and that he didn't want him on the sideline during games. The Rams head coach says there was a miscommunication and that Dickerson is always welcomed at practices and games. Now for some updates happening in the NBA. First, a fan flies 14 hours from China to see Vince Carter play. The young Chinese woman says she has loved the Grizzlies forward for 16 years and that it's been her dream to meet him. In Los Angeles, the Lakers will be kicking off their 4-game road trip tonight as they play the New Orleans Pelicans. And the Clippers look to end their 2-game losing streak in Brooklyn against the Nets. Now let's go back to Yesenia with the latest in weather.
Make sure to dress in layers to help you prepare for the unpredictable weather. Today, it is the low 70s with winds up to 9 miles per hour. It will remain partially sunny throughout the day. The winds will pick up later in the week along with warmer weather.
A Japanese theme park called Space World is apologizing for freezing 5,000 sea creatures in an ice rink. The new attraction called Freezing Point had contained dead fish, crab, and other shellfish. The theme park used Facebook to promote the attraction by using captions such as, "I'm suffocating and I'm freezing." Space World manager Toshimi Takeda says there was a huge backlash on social media after the attraction was aired on television. He says the fish were dead before they were purchased at a local market. Their intention was to unfreeze the fish and hold a religious ceremony. After the ceremony, they would be reused as fertilizer. Now Space World will remove the fish and hold a memorial ceremony. The ice rink will be closed until late December. Thank you for watching Matador News. I'm Amber Partida.
I'm Yesenia Burgara.
I'm Justin Stiles.
And I'm Lexie Smith.